Welcome back to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at Ender's Game, Chapter 12, Bonzo. And, this is probably one of the toughest chapters for me to read. And it starts off with a general, and this is a general of like the army police in like the world, I guess. And the general is saying, Graf, I can't order you to do anything, even though I'm a higher rank than you. You have complete control of battle school. But this is getting kind of crazy because some of the students want to kill another student. Everyone sees that. We're worried about it. We have to stop this. And Graf says, we can't. We can't stop this conspiracy amongst the soldiers to hurt Ender and kill him, because Bonzo really wants to kill him, or to harm him, because if Ender feels like someone's going to rescue him, then it's going to ruin his chance to command in battle against the buggers. When he's fighting the buggers, is he going to feel like someone's going to save him? Then he won't do his best. Ender has to be by himself. And the journal says Ender might die, or the general says Ender might die. And Graf says, I don't think he will, but he might. But if we save him, then we'll definitely lose him. And so no one likes it, but they can't stop Graf from letting it happen. And so Graf says okay, or the general says okay. So then it goes in to Ender coaching his army. They're still winning everything. And we look at kind of how Bean has been doing his crazy ideas. And one of the crazy ideas he's got is he has like a string, twine is what they call it, and he wraps it around his waist. And he uses it during the battle trainings he tried to make a trap with it, but then he found he can like use some momentum. He can jump in the air and kick off and swing because it's pulling him tight. It'll get the momentum to spin him faster and faster. And so Bean is showing everyone how to use this string, and everyone's like, whoa! The whole army kind of looks and watches Bean do these crazy experiments with the string. And it's pretty impressive, and everyone feels pretty good about it. After the practice, they're walking, and as Ender's walking back to the room with his army, he notices a bunch of salamander army guys hanging out in the hallway, and they look really suspicious. And finally, Petra, I forgot her name last time, Petra says, "Oh, Ender, hold up, come talk to me for a moment." But Ender senses that this isn't a bad idea. He'll be alone. And so he says, "Come walk with me." And she says, "It'll only be a moment, hold up." But Ender doesn't stop. He continues walking with his army. And so then Petra runs over to him, says, "Hey, listen, you need to be careful. Someone told me to try and get you alone so that way they can ambush you." And Ender says, like you just tried to do? Didn't you know that hallway is all full of salamander? And Petra looks kind of shocked. And she's like, "No, I didn't know. Don't you even know who your friends are?" And Ender actually doesn't know who his friends are. But she says, "Listen, don't ever be alone. They want to hurt you." And Ender's army kind of hears about this a little bit. And they're kind of like, what? Someone wants to hurt our commander, our general? And then Petra runs off. When Ender gets to his room, he sees a message on his computer. "Don't ever be alone. Dink." And so Ender kind of feels, oh, okay, maybe Petra's my friend, but Dink is still my friend. And he doesn't ever want me to be alone because he knows the other commanders are trying to hurt Ender a lot. And Ender guesses that Bonzo probably really wants to kill him. Well, Ender is getting all sorts of battles back to back to back to back, day after day after day. His army's tired. He's tired. And finally, they give him a battle. They give him a battle. He's really tired from the battle because they really challenged him unfairly. And so his soldiers kind of go off to break. What happens here? He falls asleep and he wakes up in the middle of the day, and everyone's off to lunch. The commanders had already finished their lunch, and Ender didn't realize he's tired. He's kind of groggy. He woke up in the middle of the day. He goes to take a shower. He's all alone. And this happens to be the best time for the commanders and maybe other soldiers to teach Ender a lesson. So Ender's not even thinking. He's just showering, and he takes like a double long shower because he's so exhausted. He actually fell asleep in his suit. And he doesn't even realize that these other boys are coming into the bathroom. And so when Ender kind of realizes, he turns off the water, turns around, and there's Bonzo. And then there's 6 other guys behind him. And Ender knows, okay, this is it. This is the battle. These other boys, they want to hurt me. They want to teach me a lesson. But Bonzo wants to kill me. He can see it in Bonzo's eyes. And they're trying to tease Ender and taunt him a little bit. The other boys are kind of like, oh, how far are we going to go? How far are we going to hurt him? Like, they're kind of excited to test their limits. But Bonzo knows how far he's going to go, that he's planning to kill Ender in this bathroom. So Ender, he acts calm, he acts confident, and he says, so Bonzo, your dad would be really proud of you right now. That hits Bonzo in his heart. And he says, yeah, taking 6 boys to beat up a 10-year-old? Cool, man. When you meet your father, he's going to be really proud of you. And at this, something happens in Bonzo, his pride. And he says, I don't need these other guys. I want you to back away, guys. I'm going to do this by myself. You watch the door. Don't let anyone come in. And Bonzo's like, I can't help the fact that I'm bigger than you. You deal with that. But we're one-on-one. And Bonzo actually takes off all his clothes. And he says, you're naked, I'm naked. Let's do this. And before they start to fight, Dink starts to come into the bathroom. He's like, guys, stop this. Guys, stop. Bonzo, they're going to get ice for this. Stop this, guys. And at this, Bonzo feels kind of cool. It's like, yeah, he's getting the attention. He's getting noticed. But then Dink says something. He says, Dink says to Bonzo, we need him. We need Ender. We need Ender to fight the buggers. If you kill him, you're a traitor. And this, Ender says, this seals his doom. Because when Bonzo realizes that he's not the one, that he has to kill Ender to get the attention back. And so Ender slowly starts to turn on all the hot water in the shower to make it mist up. And he turns it on 100% hot. And Bonzo says, I'm not afraid of hot water. But Ender doesn't want the hot water. He wants the sweat from his skin to mix with the soap on his body to make him slippery. And maybe even the mist to make it a little hazy. So Bonzo comes in to grab Ender. Ender's soapy, and he twists. And he's in a perfect position to kick Bonzo in his groin. But Bonzo has had practice in hand-to-hand combat, just like Ender. So Bonzo's prepared for it, and he kind of, he shifts, this is his butt, he shifts his butt out to protect his groin, okay, I got it, flip that upside down, to protect his groin, but Ender knows he's going to do that, so instead of trying to kick his groin, Ender pushes up with his whole body and power, boom, right into Bonzo's face, and Bonzo just stands back, shocked. Ender turns around, spins and turns around, and kicks him, this time, full force, right in the groin. But Bonzo just goes and falls over. And then the teachers come in. And the boys get broken up. Dink takes Ender out back to his room. And Ender thinks as he's battling, like he's already, when he hits Bonzo in the face, he thinks, I've already defeated him. But I need to make it so his fear of me is stronger than his hate. Just like he did with Stilson when the monitor was taken out. He had to defeat Stilson not just this one time, but all the other times after. And so that's why he continued to beat up Bonzo even after he'd messed him up. But as Dink takes him back to the room, Ender starts to cry, and he's like, "Man, I didn't want to hurt him. Why did he make me hurt him?" And Dink is like, "Man, don't worry. Bonzo deserved it. He's gonna get iced. Man, Ender, that was awesome what you did. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. You made him look like a little kid." And Ender's just crying. He's like, I didn't want to hurt him. I just had to make him stop. And he's like, I didn't want to defeat him like that. I just wanted to make him leave me alone. And Dink tries to make him feel better, but he can't really. And Ender falls asleep. He wakes up later on that day because someone opens his door, drops a piece of paper, and closes it. And Ender's thinking, man, this is the next day. I've slept through the day. I've slept through the night. This is in the morning. This is our morning orders for battle. But when he looks at the clock, it's only been a few hours after the battle with Bonzo. And he sees the paper, and he has to battle 2 armies. And Ender's just broken. Like, he's tired. He goes to his soldiers, and he says, "Guys, we have this battle. I think we should just give up. Let's not even do this." And the army's like, "Come on, we can do it. We can beat these 2 armies." And so they go, and they go to fight these 2 armies. Now, not only do they have to fight 2 armies, but they're totally at a disadvantage. The other armies have already been there. They're already set up behind these defensive positions. If I draw it out here really quickly, this is going to be a bad drawing, but just imagine here are some stars. Here's the goal, okay, over here. So here are some stars, and the army, other soldiers' armies, they're behind these stars. Ender needs to come here. Here, there's nothing. Actually, Ender can't see anything. There's 4 huge stars that are completely blocking his view, so he can't even see what's going on. So he actually has Bean use his string to come up, to swing around really quickly to see what's going on. And he shares this, and Ender's like, "Well, man, what are we supposed to do? If we try to attack, then they're just going to kill us. If we stay here, they're going to be able to swarm us. So there's nothing we can do. There's no way we can win." But the army really feels like Ender can do this. The Ender, you can make a way. What do we got to do? And so Ender's like, "Okay, it's time to do a formation." And so they make a formation, okay, like a cone. And this is really crazy. It's a cone, and on the outside are all frozen soldiers, and on the inside are soldiers that can actually shoot. So it's almost like they make a tank out of their team, and they shoot the tank forward. And so as they're going forward, the soldiers inside can shoot, and the soldiers outside are frozen, being a shield. But as they're getting through, the other armies realize, oh, we can go around behind and we can shoot them from the inside. So they start to go around, and while they're doing that, the tank splits apart like this. And so one side goes this way and they're shooting like crazy. One side goes this way and they're shooting like crazy. And as they're going, one of the commanders of the army says, "Something's not right here. How could they break apart unless someone was inside causing movement?" And so then he's looking around, and he sees 6 other soldiers moving in a direction. And he's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be easy." And he pulls out his gun, and the lights turn on. They've won. Ender's team won. He looks around, and there are 4 commanders holding their helmets on the side of the wall, with one soldier going in the middle. Now, that's not usually normal. Usually everyone kills everyone, and then they finish the battle as a ritual. But it looked like going through the thing is actually the victory point. So Ender's army actually wins. And one of the generals, they say, "Man, Ender, no matter what happens, if you're on the other team," so he says, "if you're on the other side of the battle, it won't be equal. It'll always be in your advantage, because you're like the crazy master. You're the perfect soldier." And that's kind of how that battle ends. Ender goes to bed. He says, "Guys, I'm done. I'm not doing any more battles." He's tired and exhausted. Bean comes to his door. He's like, "Ender, man, what's going on?" And Ender says, "I'm done. The battle's over. The game's over." Bean tells him, "Hey, look, all of their officers, all the Toon leaders, they got transferred out to other armies. I got transferred out. I'm in command of my own army. I'm in command of Rabbit Army. All the other commanders got promoted. Like something crazy's going on." And then Graf comes in with a full slip of paper. It says, "Ender, you're going to command school. And usually you don't go to command school until you're 16. Ender's like 10. And Ender's like, "Okay, let's go." And they just take off 20 minutes to go to command school. They go to planet side. It's really weird. It's bright. Ender's like in real gravity. He feels weird on Earth. He wants to go back to battle school. And then at the end, we see Anderson and one other person talking. Anderson gets promoted to colonel. Graf was a colonel, I forgot. Colonel Graf is finished, but Anderson is now in control of battle school. And they're talking about Ender and how he killed Bonzo. Bonzo's dead. And Ender killed Stilson when Stilson was when they were kids. And they're like, "Man, Ender's a murderer." It's like, no, Ender's not a murderer. He's a good kid. He didn't want to fight this battle. But he wins. Ender wins. Even if that's killing, Ender will win. And they're just kind of blown away by how incredible Ender is. And that is how the chapter ends. Oh, man. So sorry. This was much longer than I expected. Disingenuous. Not true. Not honest. Genuine is honest. Dishonest. Disingenuous. Negligence is not doing the duty that you should do. You could do it, but you are ignoring it. What is this word? Percolated. Oh, okay. Percolated. Percolated is like coming through. If you imagine like a coffee, when you pour, we call it like a percolator, okay? You pour coffee on the beans and the water comes out from the coffee down into the bottom, okay? And so information has been coming through about people wanting to kill Ender. Unconscionable. Unthinkable, unbelievable. Inertia. This is the force of your body moving and the energy that's keeping your body moving. So on Earth, we have gravity. So if I roll a ball, eventually gravity will slow that ball. But in space, if I push something, the energy, the inertia of movement will keep it going forever. Condescending, talking to someone like they're below you. Leering is kind of this looking of, usually we think of it as like guys looking at girls, right? Looking really strongly at girls, like, wow, right? Just not even stopping, just looking. Maybe at like the beach or something in a bikini, right? These guys are leering. So usually it has kind of that physical meaning, maybe a little sexual kind of meaning. But in this, it doesn't have to, okay? But that's just like that intense look. In this case, it's like Bonzo, and he's just looking straight at Ender. Ender's naked. He's in the shower. But it's not like he's like checking Ender out. He's just looking at him like he's not going to stop this focused look. Protruding is sticking out. So in the shower, there are parts that are protruding. So Ender knows this battle is about smashing the other person on these pieces. And that's what Bonzo wants to do. Grab Ender, grapple him, and smash him into these parts that are sticking out. And tumult is like chaos, noise, uncontrollable action. That leaves us with our discussion question. This one I'd really like you to think about, okay? Who is to blame for Bonzo's death? Okay, this guy died. Imagine you're the civilians, okay? You're looking at all of this data, all this information. Who would you blame for Bonzo's death? And of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.